More than 100 million euros on the line. A star that might be sacrificed, 2 heavy reinforcements that could arrive, and a bombshell that could completely shake up Real Madrid's transfer market even before the window closes. But it doesn't stop there, because there's another situation that could even get on Pep Guardiola's nerves, involving one of his most important players, and Real Madrid is right in the middle of it. Want to know? Hold tight, because what's coming today is one of those episodes you'll remember all year long. But before I reveal the details, smash that subscribe button, because here it's Real Madrid 24/7, hot news, pure emotion, and zero stalling. If you love the greatest club in the world, this channel is your home. Now, let's start with the first bombshell. Sources like Defensa Central dropped the news that could turn the market upside down. Real Madrid is ready to make a gigantic decision, the kind that divides opinions even among the most passionate fans. The plan would be to put none other than Rodrigo up for sale, valued at an absurd 100 million euros, to make room and open financial breathing space for 2 major reinforcements already on the club's radar: Ibrahima Konate from Liverpool and Adam Wharton from Crystal Palace. Yes, you heard it right. Rodrigo, our number 11, the guy who has already shined in unforgettable Champions League nights, who scored decisive goals against Europe's giants, could be sacrificed in the name of an even bigger rebuild. Sounds crazy? Maybe. But in football, especially at Real Madrid, unpopular decisions sometimes pave the way for historic triumphs. And why is this happening now? Because Xabi Alonso, newly arrived at the helm, sees that the squad needs adjustments in 2 vital areas: defense and midfield. It's no use having a powerful attack if at the back the defense struggles with injuries, and in midfield there's a lack of balance when the starters rest. Real Madrid, always thinking about the future, is willing to let go of a current star to ensure the team stays dominant for another decade. And that's where Konate's name comes in. The French defender would be practically a tailor-made solution to Madrid's defensive problems. With David Alaba increasingly suffering from injuries and Antonio Rudiger already on the other side of 30, the club needs a young, physical, fast, and reliable defensive pillar. Konate has all that. No wonder he established himself as one of Virgil van Dijk's best partners at Liverpool. The detail is that his contract at Anfield is nearing its end, and according to Diario Sport, Real Madrid believes they could close this deal for only £35 million, a bargain considering the player's level. But it's not only defense the club is thinking about. Midfield also needs strengthening, and here comes Adam Wharton's name. At just 21 years old, the kid is already considered one of the most promising talents in the Premier League. He's not just another midfielder, he has insane vision, can recover the ball with intensity, and at the same time distribute passes with the quality of a star. Putting Wharton in this squad would mean having a luxury midfield, alongside Camavinga, Valverde, Tchouaméni, and Güler. Picture this generation dominating European football until 2035? It's exactly the kind of signing Real Madrid loves: young, hungry, and ready to explode. But Madridistas, hold your hearts. None of this is simple. Rodrigo's sale, which seems to be the key to this operation, is a soap opera full of complicated chapters. According to Football España, the Brazilian has some heavy eyes on him. Manchester City, Arsenal, and even Liverpool are monitoring the situation. But each of these clubs has specific conditions before jumping into negotiations. City, for example, is still sorting out the future of key names like Jack Grealish and young Savinho. Arsenal also needs to make room before investing big, and Liverpool is looking at other attacking targets. In other words, the situation is delicate. Real Madrid wants to sell, but it depends on external factors, and the market still has 2 weeks to go. Just think, today the scene looks calm, almost stalled, but all it takes is one right phone call, one offer on the table, and this window could go from silent to explosive in a matter of hours. And I want to hear from you, Madridistas. Would you sell Rodrigo for 100 million to bring in Konate and Wharton, or keep him as a key piece? Drop your comments, because this debate is going to be huge. Now hold on, because the second piece of news is even heavier. According to Football Insider, Manchester City is extremely worried, practically on high alert, because Real Madrid is messing with the head of none other than Rodri, the engine that makes Guardiola's team run. The source of this bombshell was Mick Brown, former chief scout of Manchester United, a man who knows the backstage of English football like few others. He said it loud and clear: when Real Madrid calls, it's very hard to say no. And we know this is not just a random line. It's reality. How many players throughout history resisted the call of the Bernabeu? Very few. The weight of the white shirt is unique. Manchester City knows they can't lose this player. Last season, when Rodri was out due to suspension or injury, the team simply collapsed. Guardiola even publicly admitted he had no replacement at the same level. That's why the Citizens Board is already desperate, racing against time to renew his contract, which runs until 2027, and trying to keep the star in Manchester. They know that if Real Madrid really pushes, the balance could tip towards Spain. But here's the detail that spices things up even more. Real Madrid is not hiding their interest. On the contrary, the club made it publicly clear that Rodri is on their radar. And you know how Florentino Perez's psychological game works. When the biggest club in the world puts a player's name in the spotlight, it's not just about the market. It's strategy.
It's pressure. It's charm. It's mystique.
And then comes the question everyone asks. Who can resist playing at the Santiago Bernabéu? Who can say no to the chance of wearing the shirt that once belonged to Zidane, Modric, Kroos, and Casemiro? Playing for Real Madrid is not just football, it's history, it's legacy, it's joining an elite group of players who defined eras. That's why City's board is nervous. Guardiola tries to shield him in training, has talks in the locker room, tries to show that Rodri is irreplaceable in the project. But deep down, they know that Madrid's seduction is different. Real doesn't just offer a contract, it doesn't just offer money. Real offers the chance to become immortal. This case could turn into a long soap opera, full of chapters and rumors, but one thing is already clear. If Rodri's name is linked to Real Madrid, it's because the club is thinking big, aiming not just at occasional reinforcements, but at players who can completely change the backbone of the team for the coming years. And I'll be honest with you, Madridistas, if one day Florentino really puts 100% of his focus on this deal, it's going to be very hard to keep Rodri in Manchester. And just so you don't say the transfer market is only smoke and speculation, today a piece of news came straight from Valdebebas that left fans with a smile on their faces. In training, two newly arrived reinforcements have already started showing their stuff and even faced each other in duels that caught everyone's attention, Alvaro Carreras and Franco Mastantuono. And listen, Madridistas, the kid didn't get intimidated. Franco, who just arrived, already showed that typical personality of the great Argentinians. Chest out, head held high, and courage to face any opponent. Even going up against a more experienced compatriot, he didn't hesitate to go forward, asking for the ball, trying dribbles, showing that boldness that makes the fans rise from their seats. The duel did not go unnoticed. Those present said you could feel the energy in the air, as if it were a warning from the future. Real Madrid is not only looking at ready-made stars on the market, but also planting the seeds of a generation that could dominate Europe in just a few years. It's a powerful reminder that the club doesn't live only by spending on million-dollar signings, but also by polishing diamonds that arrive almost in raw form. And let's be real, seeing a 16-year-old kid training side by side with already established stars, and still having the guts to go head-to-head, is something that gives you goosebumps. It shows that the future has already started inside the club, that the work at Valdebebas is not only physical or tactical, but also psychological. It's about preparing these youngsters to understand the weight of the white shirt, the pressure of playing on the biggest stage in world football. If you made it this far, drop a comment. Do you prefer Madrid to go ahead and close the deals for Konate and Wharton now, or do you think the club should hold the money to aim at an even bigger target, like Rodri? And don't forget, hit the like button, share this video with other Madridistas, and of course, subscribe to the channel. Because here, brother, every day is a Champions League final. Hala Madrid, and see you in the next video.